Hello, everybody, and welcome to Set the Tone podcast, where we set the tone for all things football. Today, the first thing we'll be talking about is the Week 9 schedule and our predictions for these games. We're going to get right into it. Jude Mo, what we thinking?
All right, we're going to start out with the first game. Thursday Night Football, Eagles versus Texans. I think this is a no-brainer. I'm going to go with the Eagles. They're on a run.
NickySix.
Nicky, what you thinking?
I'm also going to go with the Eagles. I was an underdog picker last week, but this week I'm going, obviously, with the Eagles.
Good choice. I'm going to go with the same thing. Eagles, kind of a no-brainer. Once again, I think we kind of forgot to really introduce ourselves. If you haven't seen an episode before, we only have one film. This is our episode 2. Season 1, Episode 2. You can see the names down at the bottom, I believe. We are co-hosts, right? I am Justin Woods.
I'm Jude Morrison.
And I'm Nick Vosberg.
The one and only.
I didn't put my last name.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. All right, here we go. We're going to jump into the
next game.
Next game. It's going to be the Colts versus Patriots.
Colts and Patriots.
And here, I don't think the Colts are going to do too good. Patriots are going to stay just solid and mid. Colts stay on the bottom. I'm going with the Patriots.
I'm also going with the Patriots. I don't think the Colts defense is going to hold up against Bill Belichick. So I got the Colts.
I think it's a good choice, but I think this game is going to be really close. I'm still going to go with the Patriots, but I do believe this game is going to be close. I think it's going to be a predominantly run-based game. Keep everything on the ground for both sides of the ball. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Patriots leading this game.
All right. We're going to jump into the next game. Lions versus Packers. I think that the Packers are going to take this one. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to find a little bit of a rhythm here. Aaron Jones is going to stay on the run that he has. I'm going with the Packers.
I'm going with the Lions. Their record does not show how good they are. And I don't think Aaron Rodgers still owns the Packers. The Lions.
I think this one's a close one. Does anyone know the Packers, what their record is right now?
Nick?
Let me see.
Because
I don't think they're at the top of the division. I think the Vikings are. But the Packers are 3-5.
3-5. All right. As much as I hate to see a probably top 10 of all time quarterback performing poorly, I would have to say that Aaron Rodgers, he's going through a tough time right now. He doesn't really have the best receiving core. Aaron Jones has been doing relatively well on the ground, I'd say. I think the Packers are a good team, not bottom 5, but definitely bottom 10. And for that reason, I think I'm just going to have to go with the Lions catching the win on this one.
All right. Next game, we're going to jump to the Chargers versus Falcons. Chargers coming off of a bye week. Falcons come off a big overtime win against the Panthers. But I think I'm still going to go with the Chargers. Austin Eckler's going to pick up the ground game. And I think Justin Herbert might have a little bit left to show. Going with the Chargers.
I'm also going to go with the Chargers. I think that their ground game is too good. And the Falcons are just not in a good spot.
Sorry to be keeping it vanilla, but I'm too going to go with the Chargers. As much as I like the Falcons, I think they're underrated. I don't think they're good, but I think they're underrated. I think a lot of people sleep on them and look over them when they're looking at teams. I'd say the teams are relatively evenly ranked. Think it's going to be a tough game, but I'm still going to have to go with the logical choice and go with the Chargers.
All right. Bills versus Jets. This may be a closer game than we think. I think the Jets are going to show something. But the Bills, I don't think they can lose. I don't think they can lose this matchup. Josh Allen didn't have a great week, but I think he'll bounce back. I'm going with the Bills.
I'm going with the underdog here. I'm going with the Jets. Because I think the Jets are a nice young team. I feel like they have to pull off this upset to be really considered an elite team. So I'm going with the Jets.
I would agree with you there with the if they pull this off, then they're definitely going to boost up in the rankings. But the question is, would the Bills go down as far? I think I'm still going to go with the Bills winning this one, but I think it'd be a cool game to watch to see if the Jets won. That'd definitely be something cool. With the loss of Breece Hall and everything, a freshman, terrible ACL injury. Still going to go with the Bills. Definitely going to tune into this game, but yeah.
That'll be a good game to watch. And I think this one also will be a good game. Vikings versus Commanders. I think that Brian Robinson.
I don't think it's that close.
He's going to get the carries this game. But I do think that the Commanders are going to put up a fight with the Vikings. Their passing game is great with Justin Jefferson and Kirk Cousins. And now newly acquired TJ Hawkinson. But I am going to go with the Vikings.
I'm also going to go with the Vikings. I think that their offense is just too good. Sitting at 6-1, not much people would realize how good they've been playing. So I'm going to go with the Vikings.
Yep. Same here. Going with the Vikings. I don't think this game is as close as people are. Jude, I don't think it's going to be as close as you're expecting. I think the Vikings are definitely a better team here. I think Washington, as bad as they are, I think they're definitely overrated. I don't have them bottom 5, but they definitely have the ability to get there. I really don't like how their offense nor defense has been operating this year. And for that reason, I'm going to go with the Commanders losing this game for sure.
Looks like we're all going with the Vikings on that one. I think this game, I don't think this is going to be such a close game. Panthers, Bengals. I'm going to go with the obvious choice. The Bengals, even without Jamar Chase. The Panthers, the loss of Christian McCaffrey really killed them. And they just acquired a new running back that we will talk about later. But I don't think they're going to use him enough. So I'm going with the Bengals.
I'm also going to go with the Bengals. They have just too good of an offense. And they don't have a really bad D. They have a good pass rush. So I think I would hold through.
Bengals and who?
It's the Bengals versus the Panthers.
Panthers. Ooh, yeah. Coming off the fight up against the Falcons and the huge win over Tampa Bay. As much as I'd love to see them win, I don't know if they have what it takes to go against the Bengals. Bengals coming off a huge loss against the Browns. I think the Bengals definitely bounce back here. But for that reason, I'd love to see the Panthers, do something with the loss of CMC. I'd love to see them do something, but I'm gonna have to go with the Bengals.
Next game, Raiders versus Jaguars. Raiders coming off of a tough loss. Derek Carr really struggled. Devontae Adams really struggled. Jaguars also have been picking up. Travis Etienne has found a rhythm, and he is really kicking into the next gear. I'm going to go with the Jaguars. I think the Raiders are a very good team, but right now I just don't think they have the chemistry.
I'm going with the opposite. I'm going with the Raiders. I feel like after getting shut out by the Saints, they're going to bounce back and beat the Jags.
Really tough decision here. I think that the Raiders have every chance and ability to beat the Jags here, but the Jags are, kind of a team I'm undecided on. I can't really decide if they're that good or that bad. I'm going to go with the Raiders, but only because I just don't see. If the Raiders lose this game, I mean, that kind of solidifies them as a worse than expected team. So I just don't see that happening. I kind of see the Raiders winning this game, so I'm going to go with the Raiders.
All right, we're going to jump to the next game. Dolphins versus Bears. I think this is a no-doubter. The Dolphins are going to win. Tua has come back and has shown to be a possibly top 5 quarterback. Getting every reception to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle is huge. I think he will be a top 5 quarterback. I'm going to go with the Dolphins.
I'm also going to go with the Dolphins. I think Tua's just playing too good right now, and I think he should be in the MVP running. So I'm going with the Dolphins.
Yeah, Dolphins, definitely. I think Tua's going to be in there for 4 quarters, and I just think he's going to, coming off injury and everything, not really coming off, but coming back from a huge injury, I'm definitely going with Dolphins here. NickySix, is your camera on?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, something's wrong.
All right, we're
Team
going
not
to
seeing
jump
it.
to the next one.
All right, yeah.
Seattle versus Arizona. Classic matchup, bird versus bird. But I think that the Cardinals have had a rough year. Seahawks also have a rough year. Defense has not been performing. But I do think that the Seahawks will come out with this game. Even though D-Hop is on a roll, I think Seattle will take it.
I'm also going to go with the Seahawks, and I don't think Seahawks have been playing bad. Neither Arizona. Seahawks have actually gone above their expectations. So, and their defense isn't playing bad with Tyreek. I think it's Woolen is his last name. Tyreek. He has like 4 picks in a row, and their defense has not been too bad. They've been all right.
I'm going to have to go with the upset here. I'm going to go with the Arizona Cardinals. Definitely not biased because I have D-Hop on my fantasy team, but I'm just kidding. I just see them winning this game. I don't know if Seattle really pulls through with this one. I haven't been paying attention to the Cardinals' defense, so I really couldn't tell you where they sit. But nonetheless, I have to go with the Cardinals here.
All right, that's a good choice. I respect it.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna jump into the next game. Rams Bucks. No, I think it's a real good matchup. If you're thinking about last year, but this year they have really declined. Both teams. Tom Brady hasn't been doing good. Matthew Stafford hasn't been doing good. But I do think that the Rams will win this game. Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp both had a great game last week. They really had the connection. So I'm going to go with the Rams.
Okay, now we have the Rams and Bucks. I think that's a rivalry, kind of. Always gone in the NFC championship. Always fighting for the number 1 spot. But now, this year, it just hasn't been the same. Both teams have not been playing up to their standard, not meeting their expectations. So, But especially the Bucks. The Bucks have not been meeting expectations. Tom Brady has not been playing really good, and Matthew Stafford neither. But I think Matthew Stafford's been playing a little bit better, and plus I think the Rams just have more chemistry with them rather than the Bucks. So I'm gonna go with the Rams.
Yeah, I don't know. This one's a tough one. Definitely both teams that have, I wouldn't even say declined. Well, yeah, they've declined, but I just don't know if they, like the Rams coming off of a Super Bowl win, Bucks losing in playoffs last year. You know, it's relatively the same team, except they don't have OBJ, you know, the Rams. And this one's a really tough decision for me. I'm just going to have to go with the Rams due to the fact that the Bucks lost to the Panthers. There's no denying that. And not only did they lose, they got blown out of the water. So, you know, I'm gonna have to go with the Rams.
Justin, when you said that both teams haven't really declined, the Rams have won the Super Bowl last year, and now they didn't have 3 and 4. I think that is declining a lot.
Well, yeah, it is definitely on paper.
It's
definitely a on paper, you know, it's a decline. But I just don't think they've declined as much as it's projected in, or portrayed, you know, in the media and in, you know, people's opinions. I think they're still a really good team, but they're not a Super Bowl caliber team. But they're not as bad as a lot of people are expecting them to be.
I think
that the
talent
is there for both teams.
You can go.
I think that the talent's there for both teams, but I don't know about the coaching. The loss of Andy Reid, but I think the Rams have a great coaching staff. I just don't know what's been up. We are going to move on to the next game now. Prime time, Sunday night, Titans-Chiefs. I think this is an obvious choice. We're going with the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes has showed himself to be a future great quarterback, and even with the loss of Tyreek Hill, he really uses the receivers that he has to a big advantage. So I'm going with the Chiefs.
I'm also going with the Chiefs. Their offense is really good, and I don't think anybody in the whole league can stop it.
Yeah, you know, I think that Chiefs are definitely going to have a hard time stopping Derrick Henry, as every team has and every team will, with a big, beefy fullback type of running back there with, you know, high caliber speed, high caliber grit. You know, big, beefy guy. You know, there's not many in the league like Derrick Henry. I'm still going to go with the Chiefs win due to obvious reasons that Titans defense is, you know, not able to stop Patrick Mahomes. And a little reiteration on what you said earlier, Jude Mo. I think I see the Chiefs definitely picking up some receivers next year. Or maybe even trading for maybe one this year. I honestly think it's a little sad to see a quarterback, a young, really talented, you know, fresh quarterback like Patrick Mahomes, not being able to utilize all of that talent due to the fact that he doesn't have very many receivers. But, you know, yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs.
Picking up on your trade thing. We will talk about this later, but trade deadline has hit, and the Chiefs have picked up or traded for Kadarius Toney, who is slightly injured, but will play
Oh
limited
yeah, I forgot
this
about
week.
that.
I'm gonna have to take a break real
Nice.
quick. I need
We're
to
gonna-
go grab something.
We'll cover you. You got it. The next thing that we will talk about
We do have
is-
one more game. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we have to wait for NickySix for that one though. We have to wait for Nick.
All right. Yeah. It's a good one.
For those of you who don't know, this is the Saints versus the Ravens, and we live in Louisiana, so everyone and their mama is a Saints fan, and I'm just a little all by myself, a Ravens fan. It's a tough life. I don't have very many friends.
Yeah. I mean, they are both great teams, but we'll get a little bit into it more.
It's gonna be obvious.
but-
Nick's gonna pick the Saints. You're gonna pick the Saints. I'm gonna pick the Ravens, and that's unbiased. I genuinely think the Ravens are gonna win. But we'll wait for Nick to get back. For now, Jude Mo, let's discuss the fact that the answer to last week's question of the week, Christian McCaffrey is definitely back in the top 5 with the running backs.
Yes, I think that's no doubt.
No brainer, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back.
40 points for PPR, and he's definitely doing great things at San Francisco.
With 2 touchdowns on the ground and also 1
Mhm.
passing touchdown, shows that he can be used for more things.
Yeah.
But we will jump into the next game, the Monday night primetime football game. This is going to be a big one. Saints Ravens. I really want to pick the Saints because
That's
I'm
good.
really biased. But, I don't know exactly who I'm going to pick here. So I'll send it over to Nick, and I'll make my decision. Just come back.
I think the Saints have all the momentum, all the confidence in the world, and all the talent in the world. They just shut out one of the best offensives in the league, the Raiders, 24-0. That's what you call dominant on the defensive side of the ball. I said this in episode 1. I said this, that Saints are a gritty team who has a great defense. And look what they do the next week. So I'm going with the Saints.
All right, I'll pick it up here. I really want to go with the Ravens, and I really want to go with the Saints. Saints' run defense was amazing last game. Josh Jacobs got nothing. But I think I'm gonna go with the Ravens. I want to go with the Saints, but Lamar Jackson has had an MVP season. I don't know. The Ravens definitely have the talent. Their receiving core has not been too good, and their running back situation hasn't been great. But the defense has been solid, and Lamar Jackson MVP season.
Yeah, no doubt. Lamar, definitely, in my opinion, top 5 quarterback in the league right now. He doesn't have very many receivers to utilize. He has Mark Andrews, really great. But I just think the Ravens' defense is going to surprise a couple of people. I don't think it's going to be an absolute shutout. I don't think they're going to shut them down completely. But they're going to perform a little bit better than anybody's, very many people are expecting. I think we some boys, and we're going to surprise some people, I got the Ravens all the way.
Yep. All right. This
And,
next segment, we're gonna after the week 9 predictions. I think it was a little bit unexpected, but it's good. Next thing we will talk about is the trade deadline, and Nick will pick us up on this one.
All right, y'all. Before we start this, I just want to go look at the Astros game when I took my break, or when I have to grab something, and
what's
not
going
take
on?
a break. had to go grab something. Oh, the Astros are up 4-0 against the Phillies.
All right,
Wow.
quick MLB break.
Shoot.
Well, let's go to these trades.
I kind of had the Phillies going there. All right.
Start off with our
trades.
first trade.
See it, Nick.
Start off with our first trade. Nyheim Hines went to the Bills
To the Bills.
yesterday. All these happened yesterday. Wow, they had a lot. Then the Nyheim Hines to the Bills. I think that's going to help Devin Singletary not have so much work to do. Hit some in the passing game. There's also James Cook, who
Well,
is
before you go into
in
the
there.
next trade, I don't think Devin Singletary has much work on handoffs. He's getting reps. He's going
No.
blocking stuff, but he's only getting like less than 10 handoffs per game. The Bills' offense is so dominant with the passing. You know, you got Stephon, you got Gabe Davis, you got Dawson Knox. You got some really dominant guys out there, and I don't think that Devin Singletary needs much help with just a little bit of blocking. You know, if you're at the NFL level, you should be able to block for the whole game. But I think Nyheim Hines is definitely going to be utilized a little bit better. You know, he's sitting behind Jonathan Taylor at the Colts, and I absolutely think he's got the ability to be a little bit better than a couple people were expecting. So, you know, I like this trade. Like to see Nyheim Hines go a little bit further. Next trade.
I will say something here. This has been a new record for most trades made on the day of the trade deadline. I think it was 12, maybe. I think that is a record.
Also, referring to that same trade or same two teams, this may have been in the same trade. I think it was. Zach Moss is on the Colts now, so that'll give Jonathan Taylor a little more help in the running game, not just the pass game. All right, our next trade was Chase Claypool to the Bears. I think this is really good for Justin Fields. He gets a nice young wide receiver who is good on the field and off the field.
Mm-hmm.
Help him get some nice weapons around him, and I think Chase Claypool can actually show all of his talent and his potential to be what he can truly be. I think he will be a wide receiver one over here, starting above Darnell Mooney, who's really just a go route type of guy. And I think
Agree
the
with that.
Bears' offense might get a little better.
All right,
Mm-hmm.
next one.
Oh, next trade? This is a big one. TJ Hawkinson to the Vikings.
Oh, yeah. No more Irv
This
Smith
is
Jr.
cool. This is Irv Smith Jr. I heard he got an injury. Not
Mhm.
1,000% on that. I think he did. Did he?
No, I think he did.
Oh. Yeah, Irv Smith going down with an injury. TJ Hawkinson, I think, is a big upgrade to it. That just makes the Vikings a better team. I think Vikings are going all out this year, trying to go to the Super Bowl. I mean, look at the pieces that they got around them. Great wide receiver core, great running back, and now they got a great tight end. And I think Kirk Cousins is going to be a lot better.
I think this is
See,
a
but,
really unexpected trade for the Lions. I think the Lions, they really utilized T.J. Hawkinson well, but I mean, the Vikings really needed him. Justin Jefferson has had a great year, but Adam Thielen is aging a little bit, and they need a little bit of help in the passing game. I think this will be a big key part in the Vikings' offense.
Yeah, but picking up on something Nick said, I do like how the Vikings offense is very electrifying. You know, you got Dalvin Cook, Jay Jettis, Adam Thielen, now TJ Hawkinson. You've got a pretty good O-line. But how do you think that the Vikings defense is... do you really think it's a Super Bowl caliber defense? Because I think the offense is definitely Super Bowl caliber, but...
I think they do have some veterans like Harris and Smith down there, but they don't really have any big superstar names. But I wouldn't call it a horrible defense. I would call it like a mid defense. Not too much like things that does look good on paper, but
Yeah.
looks
Not
good
too bad, not too good.
on the field. Yeah, not too bad, not too good. I think they could go to the Super Bowl with this team.
Hot take. All right. Next trade. If Jude Mo, you don't have anything to say.
Oh, Justin, you're gonna like this one. Roquan Smith.
Let's
To the
go. This one hyped me up, dude.
This will make the Ravens linebackers really good. They have Patrick Queen and now Roquan Smith.
Mhm.
But they did give up AJ Klein. And probably like
Okay.
a couple picks too.
Okay.
Or maybe like one pick. But I basically got him for nothing. I think Roquan Smith to AJ Klein is a big difference.
Okay. I don't care.
Yeah, I think
Roquan
this is a
Smith.
great trade for Baltimore. Roquan Smith, when he is pass rushing, he is a great pass rusher. He could be one of the best on the Ravens now, and he can also drop back in coverage. I think that was a great pickup or a great trade for the Ravens. Definitely want it.
But picking up back on what we were saying against the Saints and Ravens, I don't know if Roquan is starting this week. Does anybody know?
Oh, probably
Sure.
not. He got traded yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but
Oh, maybe.
I mean it
I
is a
don't know.
Monday night game.
Oh,
don't really-
yeah, I think you will.
You don't really have to know a playbook to know defense, kinda.
It's kind of opinion, but I think he.
Well, I mean,
think
yeah,
he'll play.
you do, but like, you know. So with the addition of Roquan Smith, I definitely think that's a big boost to Ravens defense. But I think we need some corners
Right.
now. So
All right, Nick.
The Saints are still going to beat him though. All right, this is
No.
a pretty big trade in my opinion.
Mm.
Calvin Ridley to the Jags. I think this really gives Trevor Lawrence some weapons to throw to, just like how the Bears did with Chase Claypool. But Calvin Ridley won't be playing all year because he gambled on some games, and I do think that was wrong. But a year suspension is crazy.
A whole
To
year.
give Deshaun Watson,
Yeah.
just
you know-
for betting on
Yeah,
games.
Deshaun
to give
Watson.
Deshaun
I really
Watson.
think
We all know what Deshaun Watson did.
I really think
and
that
for
the
Calvin
Jags
Ridley.
are really
Wow.
trying to create a dynasty here. By picking up Calvin Ridley, that will really help them next year. They're trying to build a team for the future. A lot of young players on the team, Travis Etienne, Trevor Lawrence. And Calvin Ridley's only 27, I believe, so he still has a lot left in his career.
Yeah, but
Uh,
I don't know how I feel about building that dynasty around Trevor Lawrence. I think some teams that could really build a dynasty is, the Chiefs. You could build it around Geno Smith at the Seahawks. I just don't know how I feel about Trevor Lawrence as a foundation block. There's no doubt he's good, but for him to be a, foundation quarterback for a, I guess definitely a building dynasty, as you said, a building dynasty team. I don't feel too good about that. But yeah, so
going on to our next trade.
NickySix.
This involves two people. Chase Edmonds to the Dolphins and Bradley Chubb to the Broncos. And I think they also had oh no, that's another team. Yeah, just Chase Edmonds and Bradley Chubb.
But what team did Chase Edmonds go to?
The Broncos. Bradley Chubb went to the Dolphins.
Yeah.
I
don't
think
think that was
this
such
really-
a big trade. I think Bradley Chubb is a solid defensive player. I don't think Chase Edmonds is going to get the job done.
I think this trade is not good news for the Broncos fans. That's one of their best defensive players. They do have good people like Justin Simmons on their defense, but Bradley Chubb was a key part in that pass rush. and to get Chase Edmonds and probably a pick, I would think they would just do straight up player for player. I mean, their run game is not really that bad. You're getting Javonte Williams next year. You still have Melvin Gordon, a veteran. You have picked up Latavius Murray. So I don't think you really need a run game. But for the Dolphins, that is great news. You get a nice pass rush, and I think the Dolphins can be a Super Bowl team, even though they're in the AFC.
All right, let's get into the next big Dolphins trade.
Jeff Wilson Jr. to the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I don't really like this trade because I had Raheem Mostert on my fantasy team, and I don't want Jeff Wilson Jr. taking his touches. So
I think it was a great trade for the Dolphins. I think they were in need of a running back. Raheem Mostert really hasn't shown that he can be an RB1, and I think Jeff Wilson, on the other hand, has shown that he can be an RB1 with the 49ers. So I think that was a great trade for the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all
Justin,
around.
any thoughts?
Do you have any other trades, Nick?
Well,
Or is
there's
that just
some,
the
but
bulk?
Zach. We already went over Zach Moss.
And any main ones that you want to talk about?
Yeah, if they're just some little light trades, we don't have to go over them. We can go into our next segment.
These are the only ones that happened yesterday. So if there's any big ones, Kadarius Toney.
Oh,
To the Chiefs.
Tony to the Chiefs. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, never mind.
All right, we will get into the next segment here, but I will say I have one question: who do you think has had the best trade season near the deadline?
Hmm.
I think the Dolphins.
Right.
I'm gonna have to disagree. I think the Vikings' gain of T.J. Hawkinson is definitely blockbuster. You know.
Yep. All right.
Jude
Let's get
Mo,
into
what
the
are you
next
thinking?
one. Justin, let's take the next segment here.
This segment is top and bottom 5 teams, where we will go over our top 5 teams, our top 5 bottom teams. I mean, bottom 5 teams. So I'll start us off. My top. You want to do top or bottom first?
We'll start with bottom.
Yeah, I'll start with the bottom. I'm gonna go count down from 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and worst bottom team. Looking back on my list, I don't know if I'm too confident in it, but I'm gonna go ahead, just say what I have. At the 5th worst team in the league, I have the Broncos. Then I have the Lions, the Steelers, the Bears, and then the Colts as the worst team in the league.
I'll go next year. For the 5th worst
Next
team,
year?
I really did not want to put this team on this list. So I'm gonna have to go with the Lions. I don't think that their record really shows the ability, but I mean what they have shown so far, I think they are a bottom 5 team. And 4 I have the Commanders, 3 I have the Bears, 2 I have the Texans, and actually at the worst position here I have the Steelers.
No Colts in the bottom 5? With the loss of Naheem
No.
Hines? All they have is Jonathan Taylor on offense?
I think
Terrible
I think,
defense?
I think Jonathan Taylor coming back from an injury will pick up his game. I don't know if it will be enough, but I think
I
it
sure
will be
hope so.
enough to stay
sure
out
hope
of the
so.
bottom 5.
Justin, you were crazy for putting the Colts at number 1. You're calling. Wait, who'd you call the worst team? Who was your number 1?
Colts.
The Colts were your number 1 team. Ooh. I don't even have them in my top 5. I have number 5. I have the Broncos. I think Russ is not living up to what he was meant to be. I'm very sorry to say this, just like Jude, but I have the Lions at number 4. They had a lot
Me
of
too.
potential. Very young team. I love their coach. Then I have the Bears. But I mean, they're the Bears. They just trade everybody away. They're in rebuild mode. Steelers, I don't really know what they're doing.
What?
They're lost. The worst team in the league are the Texans. They've been in the rebuild mode for the past 5 years. Ever since they lost to Sean Watson, they've just been not the same. But the Texans do have some picks coming up, so it depends what they do with that. I think they'll be pretty good.
Yeah, but the only thing I have different than y'all's list, we all basically have the same teams except I have the Colts. I don't think it's that hot of a take to have them in the bottom 5. I mean, it's a pretty hot take to have them at number 1, I guess you could say. But I think their defense is really poor, and I think their offense consists of one player and one player only. Definitely, and another thing,
they do have
the Lions. Oh,
you go.
you go ahead. All right. Shoot, my bad, dude. So, I think that the Lions trading away T.J. Hawkinson, it's pretty bad for them. I think T.J. Hawkinson really has some talent, and I just think that if they're really wanting to rebuild, they're kind of trading away all their guys, I don't know if I would have given away T.J. Hawkinson. But
I'm gonna pick up where you lost. I'm gonna pick up where you left off with the Colts. Like you said, they only have one real weapon, or real option at least. Which I think that Matt Ryan still can lead a team with Michael Pittman at receiver. I think he's a great receiver. Just doesn't really have the. I don't think Matt Ryan has the ability to to lead a great team, but he can. He will be a great leader. He just doesn't have the ability to be an athlete.
I don't know, man. Michael Pittman, he's kind of the only open guy downfield, and their only really viable receiver. I think we're going to see the I'm blanking what I was saying. Never mind.
Should we go
let's
to
go
top
into the
teams?
Yeah, let's just go to the top 5. All right. Top 5 teams. I'll start us off. Should we start at the number 1 spot? I'll start at the number 1 spot. I got the Bills at number 1. It's no secret. They're good. Think if the Eagles win this game, or if the Bills lose this game, or both, or either or, really. I think the Eagles definitely have the chance to surpass the Bills, which is why I have the Eagles at 2. Third spot, I have the 49ers, definitely, in my opinion here. I know NickySix is going to disagree, but I think they have the best defense in the league. It's not that hot of a take to say that they do. And with the gain of Christian McCaffrey, definitely a really, really good team. Number 4, we've got the Chiefs. They're still a really good team, even with the loss of Tyreek Hill, my bad. And at number 5, I have them Cowboys. As much as I dislike them.
Yep.
I don't really know why.
I'll go next.
Cowboys.
Right. I'm gonna go from 5 to 1 because I think that builds up more. The number 5 spot, I have the Giants. You may be being you really have the Giants at the top 5 teams. I think Brian Dable
that's exactly what
is a genius.
Who?
Brian Dable, the Giants head coach, is a genius. Daniel Jones is playing better than you think.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Giants can go to the second round of the playoffs. That's my prediction. Then at number 4, I have the Chiefs. I have the Chiefs at number 4. I don't think it really has much explaining to do. Though their defense isn't great this year, but their offense is playing up to standards like usual. And number 3, I have the Cowboys. As much as I hate the Cowboys, their defense is the best in the league, and I don't think there's anything else that could say that stop that. The Cowboys have a great cornerbacks. They have a great rush game with DeMarcus Lawrence. Then they have Michael Parsons, the best defensive player in the league. So number 2, I have the Bills. The Bills, not really much explaining to do. The Bills they're young and they're good. And then number 1, I have the Eagles. They're 7-0. They're young. They have a rushing quarterback who can throw the ball and run the ball. They have a good running game, good O-line, good wide receivers, good defense. They're just everything.
Undefeated too.
Yeah.
All right, I'll pick up there. I'll start from the bottom. Very similar to Justin's. I have the Cowboys at the 5. One of the best defenses in the league. Offense has shown that they can do stuff, but I don't think they have the offense to make it in the top 3. At the 4, I have the 49ers with the gain of Christian McCaffrey. I think their offense is really unstoppable with McCaffrey, Debo, Ayuk, and their defense. I mean, that's self-explanatory. One of the best defenses in the league. At 3, I have the Chiefs. A solid defense. I'd say definitely a top 3 offense. Passing game is great, and it's just self-explanatory there. And at 2, I do have the Bills. I don't think that their defense is good enough to be at the number 1 spot. That's where the Eagles are. I think the Eagles will be undefeated team, but they will not win the Super Bowl.
Okay. Don't have anything else. Do you guys?
We can move on let's go the biggest busts of the 2022 season. Biggest fantasy bust.
Nick, are you talking right now? Because
Nick, you're muted.
You're muted.
Before we do that, sorry. Before we do that, it's second episode. We need a World Series check. Bottom of the 5th, Astros are up 5-0. The series has been going back and forth.
Yeah, back and forth
Phillies
for sure.
blew us out last night. The Phillies blew us out last night. The game before that, the Astros blew them out. And then, I don't know what happened game 1, but the Phillies won. I don't think it's going to be a good World Series.
Yeah, really, definitely, because it's now 2-2 once the Astros win this game, right?
Don't say that yet. Anything can happen in baseball.
I mean, it's
we
5-0.
will move on now.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Okay, but we'll
fantasy
wait.
football bust.
Before we move on, we should do a World Series prediction winner. Just real fast, Jude, who you think is going to win?
I'm going to go with the Phillies. They're hot. Bryce Harper, have you seen his playoff stats? It's insane.
Yeah.
I don't see the Phillies losing.
I'm going to Astros.
I'm also going to go with the Phillies. No particular reason. Obviously, they're not playing at the Astros levels for this game, but, I mean, the Astros weren't playing at their level last game. This is definitely a back and forth. But, yeah, I'm going with the Phillies. All right, next segment, Jude Mo.
We'll start out here with the biggest fantasy bust of the year. I'm going to start out with an obvious one. It has to be Najee Harris. Who thought that he would be under a top 25 running back maybe? He really hasn't shown anything that he's really excels at. I think he just he had an extreme downfall from last year.
I will definitely agree with you on that. And I'll pick up on the next, I think, in my opinion, to me, the biggest bust it's no surprise. I took him in the 3rd round in our fantasy draft. Cam Akers. Start of the year, he was like projected to be the guy, the running back for the Rams, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, good choice. I'll take him. Guess what he does? 0.6 in the first week, and like less than 5 for the rest of the year. I dropped him after like week 4. I hate Cam Akers with every part of my being. And everything that I looked at said Cam Akers was a good draft. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, bro, he's good. I got him. You know, Rams, Super Bowl, you know, coming off the Super Bowl team. Cam Akers, running back 1. Got to take him 3rd round. But you know what? It's all right now because my running backs now are Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor, Ezekiel Elliott. All right?
All right.
So,
are we going to pick up there on
right,
Jonathan Taylor? You know, I don't know. I wouldn't call him a
just got
bust. Because of injuries, I wouldn't call him a bust. But he definitely hasn't had the production that fantasy managers have wanted and expected out of him to be. Probably the number 1 draft pick in over 50% of leagues. So, I'm just going to give it to Nick.
My biggest bust of the year so far, y'all took Najee Harris and Cam Akers away from me. So I'm going to go at my 3rd worst, or really 2nd worst. I don't think Cam Akers was that much of a bust. He wasn't really that good.
oh, shut up.
It was Russ.
Yep.
Russ was like projected to be all this. The Broncos, the AFC West was supposed to be like, oh yeah. But the Broncos are, I think, sitting at the bottom of the division. And it's been horrible. The Broncos are sitting at 3-5 right now. The second.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And picking up on something Jude Mo said, the whole Jonathan Taylor thing, I just picked him up in fantasy, got him from a trade, and the whole, I just don't know if he's that big of a bust due to the fact that he came off injury. He had a rough start. I'll give you that. But I think this game and maybe the next game and the next game after that are definitely a deciding factor on whether or not he is a bust. Oh, we lost NickySix.
Look like we have a slight connection problem.
Or that he forgot
to.
He went and got. I guarantee he went and got his charger and then forgot to plug it in.
Yep.
Yeah, that's probably gonna be it.
I think we're gonna talk about one thing that's kind of that me and Jessica talk about. Is DeAndre Hopkins a top 10 receiver? Maybe even top 5. Where do you rank him?
Absolutely. Yes. 100%. I don't think that he's top 5. I don't. I think I have Stephon over Kupp. Oh, there he goes. Let's go. We got him back. I have Stephon over Kupp, and I have, a couple guys below that. I'm not going to go through that right now. But I have D-Hop as a top 10 receiver. PPR league-wise, he comes back from his first week off of suspension, gets 20 points. And the week after that, even bigger, 33. We're going to see what he does this week. I don't think it's definite by now. I don't think it's solidified. But he's definitely wide receiver. He has the ability to be wide receiver 1 in numerous leagues. And if you have him, hold on to him. I picked him up off waivers when he had 6 weeks of suspension left. I think I picked him up like week 2. And that paid off for me because now I have Stephon, D-Hop, Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, Darren Waller, Lamar. Definitely.
I will pick up there on Justin's comments. I don't know if he is he's definitely not a top 5 yet, but he definitely has the potential to be. Right now, I'd rank him about 7 to 10, but I think at the end of the year, he will for sure solidify a spot in the top 6 or top 5 maybe.
I don't know if he's even 7 yet.
No.
You know, do you think A.J. Brown is better than D-Hop?
He's in the conversation. It's a good run. He had one of the best weeks. He had one of the best wide receiver weeks in fantasy football all year. So, I mean, yes,
what did he get?
I'd put him up there. 40.
Well, I had a week where I used to have Amon-Ra and Jalen Waddle. They both got 40 that week. Then, that was the same week that Lamar got like 50. My team got like up to almost 200 that week.
Yep.
My team got over 200.
Another thing, I think we can talk about, what do you think that Jalen Waddle is a top, I'd say 15. Do you think he's top 15?
Yes, 100%.
Definitely.
Easy.
Let's make it top 10. Top 10.
No.
Top
No.
12.
Top 12. I don't think he's there yet. Honestly, he's just now entering the top 15. And with the whole just him being wide receiver 2, I think it's difficult for a lot of people to accept that he is as good as he is. I know a couple people are going to disagree with the fact that he's top 15, but I mean it's just that it's a fact. He's definitely a top 15. He definitely has the ability to be a top 12, depending on if a couple of guys in the top 10, just decide to not show up, and play their game.
If Tyreek wasn't on the Dolphins,
Hmm.
if Tyreek wasn't on the Dolphins, I think Jalen Waddle was a top 5 wide receiver.
Top
Yes.
5.
No,
Wow.
he would be close. He would be close.
You think about it, what he's done
I don't
with
think it's
Tyreek
that
Hill
close.
is crazy. As a wide
Yeah,
receiver,
I'm gonna start.
wide receiver too is doing
I'm gonna
that.
start here. Move to the running back slot. As we put Christian McCaffrey in the top 5, where do we rank Alvin Kamara after his 3 touchdown game?
1.
Justin.
No, I'm just kidding.
Top 5, I just don't think you can solidify him at top 5. 100% top 10. He's definitely, there's no doubt about it. He's still that electrifying Alvin Kamara that we've seen in years past and that we've seen before, He's definitely got that, he's got every ability to be in the top 7. And I think definitely a few people are going to say that he is top 7 right now. He's got every ability to do it. I just don't think you can solidify him as top 5 or top 7. 100% you can solidify him at top 10. But for that reason, I'm just going to go not top 5 yet.
I'll put it here right now. Alvin Kamara most definitely would be a top 5 running back at the moment if he got the carries that he has gotten in this last game. He definitely has the ability, and he has he wants the spot, and he just
improved it
his
too.
fantasy production has been really pulled back by touchdowns. Hasn't gotten a touchdown until this week when he scored 3.
I think Kamara is not just barely top 5. He's number 6 for me. I think the 5 running backs better him are Derrick Henry, CMC, Austin Eckler, Saquon, and Nick Chubb. I think that's the only 5 better than him.
You don't have Josh Jacobs over him?
No, I don't. After last week, no. After last week with Josh
man,
Jacobs
I don't
down,
think you can. NickySix, you gotta think. You gotta think here. Yeah, you got to think you're not just going fantasy-wise here. You're talking about running back overall as a running back. Do you think Alvin Kamara is a top number 6, you know? Because, I think
he
Jonathan
is.
Taylor's probably better than Kamara. Not in
No,
fantasy,
not
but...
anymore. Just think about this year. Who would you say is better, Jonathan Taylor or Alvin
Dude,
Kamara?
I'm just thinking about this year, but, like, with everything, him being Jonathan Taylor, you know? JT. It's still
I'll go
Jonathan
here.
Taylor.
The all-around
time-
ability of like their running backs right now, Alvin Kamara, like besides fantasy-wise, I think Alvin Kamara is a top 5 running back because he's dominant on their running game, but he's also, I'd say, the second best receiving back right now, right behind Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right behind Christian McCaffrey. I would have to agree with that. You know, Christian McCaffrey's too versatile to have anybody rank above him.
Yep.
But Kamara's definitely in that second slot there. I would agree with that, and I don't have any problems with that. I have a player if y'all want to discuss.
Go ahead.
Marquise Brown is supposed to be coming back in like a month. Do you think that's going to affect D-Hop, and how good do you think Marquise Brown's going to do?
For sure. I think that D-Hop will be the wide receiver 1 for sure, but Marquise Brown before his injury had great production, great fantasy production, and it will definitely hurt D-Hop's fantasy ranking, but I don't think it'll do too much.
NickySix. What do you think?
I think obviously it's gonna be changed. D Hop's coming back, and he's not gonna get the targets that he wants. It's still have Zach Ertz is gonna be affected by it. A lot of people are going to be affected by it. But in the meantime, while D Hop's out, by Marquise Brown's out, I want them to use people like Rondell Moore, and I want them to use AJ Green back in their offense.
Right.
I know he might be a little old, but he got the hands to be great.
Yeah. Do you think that once James Conner comes back and Marquise Brown comes back, do you think that the Cardinals' offense is a top 15 offense with Kyler Murray, D-Hop, Marquise Brown, James Conner, Zach Ertz? Do you think that is a top 15 offense?
Absolutely. It might be a slight hot take, but that combination of players, James Conner, seasons before has been extremely dominant. He hasn't been top 5 standard, but he has been just a solid RB1.
Yeah,
I think
definitely. If I'm not
definitely will be a
mistaken,
top
he
15.
was a rookie last year, right?
Yep.
Who?
Oh, well, I don't know.
James Conner.
No, James.
He might have
Conner's
not been.
He was on the Steelers. He's definitely not.
Oh,
he's
that's
definitely
right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. You're right.
I think when James Conner comes back, I think this offense is just a top 15 offense. I think they're like 13, 14. But if James Conner, if they all play like they have been, I think they're going to be top 10.
Yep.
Yeah, do you think they brush the top 10? Do you think they're in there? Do you think they're not?
They're right around the mark.
Jude
Right around there.
If they all
it's
play,
a great spot for them to be. They're near 12 to possibly 8 or 9. But we really don't have a good reasoning behind this yet because we haven't seen their full offense together yet.
I might be disconnecting again. So if I stop talking, that's why.
What reason? Why?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know why I'm just disconnecting.
All right. Anything else that we can discuss?
Yep.
I
No, I don't think so.
Time to
think that
wrap
might
it
be
up.
just about it.
NickySix.
Yep.
All right. This has been Set the Tone podcast. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. There's a little red button down there. You can click it. It says subscribe if you can't read it. NickySix, please no ukulele. Our outro song. Actually, yes. Play our outro song. This has been Set the Tone. Okay. Think we're good, you know?
Now,
If you haven't seen episode
that
1,
was
check it
Set
out.
the Tone.
That will set the tone. See you later, folks.